It's time to be a part of it. New York, New York, now open on Broadway.
If I can make it there, I'd make it anywhere.
Set in 1946, World War II is over, New York City is rebuilding, and dreams are big. It's inspired by the 1977 film by Martin Scorsese and the iconic music of Kander and Ebb, and new lyrics from Lin-Manuel Miranda. Let's send it out to Paul Wontorek.
Grand Central Station is one of the most beautiful and iconic New York City landmarks. I'm here today to catch Colton Ryan as he passes through this fabled hall on his way to Broadway. His train should be pulling up any minute. Hey man.
Hey man.
How are you?
Welcome to my stomping grounds, huh?
This is, right? You like literally are a commuter.
Yeah.
You are in a big splashy new musical, New York, New York. I've actually loved this movie for a long time.
Have you?
Yes, I'm one of those handful of people that knows the movie really.
A vocal minority.
It's very different, but I'm just so thrilled that you are in a big Broadway musical. And how are you feeling?
I'll be honest, like, to come back to Broadway in this fashion, I definitely didn't expect. I didn't expect to tap on Broadway maybe ever, but yeah, to do it all in this big splashy way is pretty wild.
So you're actually living up in Westchester?
Yes.
With your fiance?
Ironically enough, the minute I took a show that screams, I love this city, I run away.
I did a little research.
Okay.
During rush hour,
Hard-hitting journalism, okay.
Every 58 seconds, a different train pulls up. This is literally another 100 people. When you're coming through here, you probably sometimes don't even look up at the beautiful Beaux Arts architecture.
No, I do actually. This has been like a big talking point amongst our like creative team and me, because this is a big part of the show. And I always look up now because supposedly there's this one tile that is on one of these sides.
Oh, that what they didn't restore?
Yes, that is like
darker.
yeah, it's totally black.
Yeah.
And I have not yet to find it.
I actually came through this before it was cleaned up.
Really?
Yeah, so I remember when they were all dark.
I remember when New York was, when 42nd
I remember
Street
New York was
yeah.
pretty. So tell me briefly about life in Westchester with your fiance. You've been together a long time. And
Yes, very long time.
You have 2 little dogs, I think?
Yeah, it's fur babies. The one part that I'm most proud of, I don't know if you saw the playbill, but this whole thing I've dedicated to her. So it's in there, and because she's my New York City, and yuck.
That's
and,
sweet.
Yeah, no,
That's
it is.
sweet.
She's everything to me. So, and that's what this show is to me. You know, it's like.
Should we try to find that dirty tile? It's up there.
Where? You found it immediately? That's so embarrassing.
Right
Where?
there, on the right, just to the left of the, see that?
You mean that little black
Yeah,
piece right there? Yeah. That's that?
Yeah, that's it. But what I do really want to see, forget the dirty tiles,
Yeah.
I want to visit what's called the Whispering Gallery, which plays an important part in your show.
Yes.
So can we head over there and check it out?
Lead the way.
Okay, cool. Jimmy and Francine.
Jimmy and Francine.
Have
yeah.
a moment. It's actually a big scene in the show.
It's a big, well, it's a big, beautiful, hushed
moment.
new song.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
you know, this is, I only bring it up because it's wild to me. Because John, you know, Kander,
Yes.
is.
You know him. He knows you.
I'm pinching myself still, yes, but he's 96 years old. And this man presented that song to me, that Whispering Arch moment. I'll never forget. They sat me down, and John sat at the piano, and Lynn stood in front of the piano and, like, to me, sang this song. And of course, I'm a puddle. I'm just like a total wreck. He always says a life in the theater is the luckiest life anyone could ever live.
Look where we have arrived. One of us is going to stay here.
Yeah.
One of us is going to go over there.
Those are
And
the direct lines from the show. Good for you.
You can, it is?
That's what I say, yeah. I'm gonna stand over here, you stand over here, and I'm gonna go stand over there.
Can you hear me at all right now?
Wait, yes.
I can hear you.
This feels like deeply intimate, actually.
Oh, that's why they wrote a whole scene about it in the show.
That's true.
Do you think John Kander and Lin-Manuel Miranda stood in these corners and whispered?
I think they went note for note, line for line in these corners. Can you hear them cheering for me now? Right up Broadway, they're cheering for me now. One day soon, all the jobs I have to do will make my dreams come true.
What's the scariest thing about starring in a Broadway multi-million-dollar musical?
It's hard for me to even think of fear at all because I'm doing all of these things that truly on their own should make me very, very scared. Like playing a tuba in front of people for the first time, or the piano, or tapping, or any of that jazz. It's honestly like my own little fear factor experiment where I've just thrown myself into the cockroach cage and just been like, okay, get over it. You gotta fly, kid.
Hey, look, we're in Central Park on Bow Bridge.
Of all places.
It's
almost as if-
this is also in the show. Briefly.
Yes,
like
it's
not as
almost
much as
as
it
if
was
it's in the show and we plan to come here.
It did, yeah. It's a little on the nose. Well, this is actually
Gorgeous.
161 years old. It is the longest bridge in all Central Park.
Really?
It's in a lot of movies.
And musicals now?
And musicals.
Yeah.
So do you spend a lot of time in Central Park?
Well, not so much anymore, but
Yeah, you're outside.
as you can tell now from my country living, this
Right.
was my only refuge before that.
Right.
So yeah, I used to come here a lot, and my best friend, Mike Cefalo, who is a standby in the
standby.
show, we bike this once a week in the summer.
So there you can see a beautiful view of Bow Bridge.
It's
now.
gorgeous.
And you know it's shaped like an archer's bow.
Really?
Yeah. It's not bow. It's not for taking bows. I know you've done that. You take bows every night. It's not Bow Bridge. It's Bow Bridge.
This is really embarrassing, but at the beginning, I would have to go through all the things, and I was like, New York's filled with incredible places. Oh, you gotta go to Bow Bridge. And I could feel all of them being like, yuck. Oh. My New York card was like almost revoked a couple times for that one.
44th Street. You're home away from home.
My home away from home, John's Pizzeria.
It's not about John's Pizzeria. It's about
Oh, that.
That.
Oh, that.
look at that, the St. James Theater. Be a part of it.
That's good. They're gonna pay you for that.
Doing this show is exciting, but also hearing you're doing the St. James Theater is exciting. You said when you came to New York, this was your neighborhood. You were in EVAN HANSEN,
Yeah.
made your Broadway debut,
Yeah.
covering the role of Evan. And I mean, this is your hood, Broadway.
Well, this to me is like, in a lot of ways, like my university. Like this is my college.
Yeah.
I come around here and I see people that I knew from a different life, or that like knew a different me essentially, not fully formed me. And this, in every way, I'm most proud of because it's just, I actually know who I am now, and I think that registers in the show and in the work and all that.
Yeah.
And so it's really lovely because I see all these people from the block and they're all just like, hey, how you been, man? Like, and my shoulders are not up here anymore. They're a little closer to the earth. I love that they see that in me, and it's such like a homecoming in a way that I don't think a lot of people know, but that definitely feels inside for me, very spiritually. Like this is my big declaration of like, I'm home.
You've learned a bunch of musical instruments
Yes.
to do this show.
I have.
Can you sort of document what you actually, because you're playing on stage, you're not faking it.
No, the only one that I actually had a real proficiency in, weirdly enough, is the tuba of all things.
Wow.
Back in Kentucky, from the 6th to the 8th grade, I was first chair all county 3 years running as the tuba player. I mean, the main thing, of course, is the piano, because he's a jazz pianist, and
Yeah.
I wanted that to be very clear. But I practically failed keyboard in college, so that was about 6 to 7 months of like nose to the grindstone, like training. Now I'm doing it for a discerning crowd of 1,700 people every day. So,
New York, New York.
are you gonna walk me in?
Yeah, I'm gonna walk you in. You have a show to do. So let's head in.
Okay.
Da 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 da.
Hey, start spreading the news. Thank you. I'm
right.
literally leaving you today.
Okay, show.
Thank you so much.